Hello guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today we've got an absolute classic in the house. We're going to be doing a review on BSN's NO XPLODE. It even says here the legendary pre-workout. So obviously we all probably know of it from years and years ago, but how does it stack up against pre-workouts as of today in 2024? Can it still hold its own, or has it been left behind? So stay tuned as we cover the usuals: taste, price, label effects, all coming at you. Will it be worth considering in this day and age? And if you are new to our channel, please do hit the like button, hit the sub button, tick the bell icon. So we like to drop about 3 reviews a week, but today, let's explode. Okay, first segment, taste and mixability. So what are we getting here? So for the flavour for this review, we've got Red Rush flavour, period. It also comes in a bunch of others, which I'll throw up on the screen. But anyway, let's see what the mixability is like. There are some little bits at the bottom, but nothing too bad. I'd say it's slightly above average, but that's mainly because it is a smaller than average serving amount, so it kind of comes with the territory. But let's see how it tastes. Yeah, it's got that classic BSN NO XPLODE type flavour. It seems like it hasn't changed in 2 decades. It just has that same sort of fizzy, pre-workout-y kind of flavour. Tastes like a fruit punch, and I would say it's quite nice. There's no nastiness coming through on the back end. It can get a bit bad at the bottom because that's where all the black pepper sort of sits, unless you just give it a swivel and down it quickly, but it's been a bit of an issue for me. But overall, I'd still say it's a good flavour. I'll have one more sip and I'll give you a score out of 10. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think, yeah, it's hard to rate it down. It's a solid flavour, and I'd assume that all the rest are the same. So yeah, good start to review. Let's get into price. Okay, price time. So let's hope that this is at least a cheap pre-workout, because I assume that's the type of audience it's going for, the more budget-friendly audience. But anyway, so you go on their official website, and then it then palms you off to various different other websites where they do actually sell it, and one of them is Amazon, so that's who I'm going to be going with. So you can find this full 30 serving tub on Amazon for £19.99. Now when you divide it up by the 30 servings, it's only 67p a go, which is incredibly cheap, because on our consistent pricing scale that measures how expensive pre's are, where a 5 out of 10 is an average price point, this comes in at a 10 out of 10. So it's priced so well that it's off the scale. So it's an extremely affordable, cheap pre-workout. So obviously all we've got to do now is see what type of pre we're getting for the money in terms of the ingredients, and of course how it comes together in the real world. So stay tuned and we'll get into it now. Okay, let's dive into the label of this classic. So what exactly are we getting for that price point? So first up, we have a 13-gram serving amount, which is probably on the lower end as of today in terms of a serving amount of pre-workout. Not that that's everything, it's just worth considering against the price point, you know, just something to have in the back of your mind. Anyway, we've got vitamin C, niacin and zinc at the amount shown there. Nothing too important, kind of like background vitamins, going to help your body function as it should, but nothing that you're necessarily going to feel in the gym in an acute setting. So first up, we've got L-citrulline at 6 grams, which is a really solid dose there. It's an amino acid that bumps up your nitric oxide levels, increasing blood flow and pump. Take that. Then we've got beta-alanine at 3.2 grams. It's looking good so far. Another dose that we look for of amino acid that gives that itchy, tingly sensation when it kicks in, but it's in pre-workouts because it helps with your endurance when it builds up in your system and you hit that saturation point. Then we've got caffeine at 200 milligrams. Notice it's not caffeine anhydrous, it's just standard caffeine. So it should kick in a little bit slower and be a little bit smoother than normal. And when I say normal, I mean caffeine anhydrous, which is what we typically see. But 200 milligrams is a fairly decent amount. You know, it's more than an average energy drink, a couple of really strong cups of coffee. So it's still not to be sniffed at. And I would say most people would still get benefit from that. You know, I mean, can you feel an energy drink is the best way to answer that question. So that's the main stimulant that's going to kick in and wake you up and get you moving. Then we've got Rhodiola rosea, 200 milligrams. Not too bad, that's an anti-stress, anti-fatigue type ingredient, so it's going to help with your mood and anti-stress levels in the gym when you're training, and just to help keep you locked in. Then we've got choline bitartrate at a pitiful 50 milligrams. Not only is that a terrible form of a choline donor, but it's also an offensively low dose to the point where it just won't do anything. But it should help to bump up your choline levels, obviously helping with your focus, concentration and athletic performance in the gym. But as I say, at that dose it may just as well not be in there. which is a shame because up until this point the dosages have at least been respectable, but now we're just taking a nosedive. Then we've got Panax No Ginseng 50 milligrams, which is just a general health ingredient. It's nothing too exciting. It's just going to help with your blood flow. Ultimately it's going to play into the pump and your endurance in the gym. Then we've got grapefruit bioflavonoids, 50 milligrams, similar benefits to the previous ingredient along the lines of, you know, antioxidant benefits, blood flow, going to help along the pump and your endurance in the gym. So again, just such low dosages. I would be shocked if they do anything, those last few ingredients, but you know, we'll keep an open mind. Then we've got piperine, 5 milligrams, which is black pepper extract. That's just going to help with the digestion and uptake of all of these ingredients, and that is at least a dose that will do something. So we'll take that. Some good, some bad. So we'll just have to hope that the good outshines the bad in the gym, and you know, we'll keep an open mind. But we'll be back in the effects, and I'll let you know how we got on. Okay, let's talk real world effects with NO XPLODE pre-workout in the couple of times we've used it. So start off at the beginning like we always do with the beta-alanine. It's in there at the dose we look for, the 3.2 grams, and it probably kicks in about as you'd expect. It's pretty damn strong, but not crazy. I'd probably say 6.5, 7 out of 10 on the tingle scale. So yeah, if you're a fan of it, great. If you're not, look elsewhere, or maybe take half a serving and you might mitigate it to a degree. So yeah, beta-alanine, we'll take that. What comes in shortly after that is the 200 milligrams of caffeine, obviously, which feels like 200 milligrams of caffeine. It feels energy drink level of energy. Nothing crazy, there's no peaks, troughs, spikes, crash, nothing nasty associated with it. It just perks you up a little bit, increases your alertness, and away you go. And the energy's gone within an hour and a half to 2 hours, so it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's okay for most gym days, but obviously with the energy being lower than average, it would struggle more on the more intense, longer days. And also people that are a bit more caffeine sensitive, it's just not going to touch the sides. So yeah, energy is about what you'd expect. Pretty middling. Moving on to focus, there isn't really anything in here for focus, so any of the focus you're getting is kind of from the caffeine itself. So yeah, you're not really any more dialed in than normal, but it's down to you to stay focused in your gym session. You can't always rely on pre-workouts. But as far as this one goes, yeah, it's not really offering anything on the table where focus is concerned. But then again, like I said, we have to remember the price point. And now moving on to the third thing, and probably the best thing, at least for me, is the pumps. Obviously we've got a good dose of L-citrulline, we've got a couple of other bits that play into the pump element as well in here. So pumps I was pleasantly surprised with. I would actually say they were probably a little bit above average, or at least thereabouts, whereas the energy and the focus I would say is below average, and with regards to the focus, pretty much non-existent. So when you're buying this pre-workout, you're basically buying energy drink level of caffeine, the beta-alanine, so you're getting the tingles, and you're getting your pump. So it's not offering you everything that a conventional, fully fleshed out pre-workout would, because we are falling short on some areas, i.e. the focus and endurance to a large extent.
Today, Junior!
It's not a stacked pre-workout, is it? So we have to bear in mind that we are getting the bread and butter basics, or even less so than that. With regards to negatives, I wouldn't really say there are any, at least not for me. It didn't keep me up all night on the times I've used it. It didn't suppress my appetite. Like I say, there's no crash or nastiness associated with it. So it's a nice safe bet. It's a nice healthy option. I would say beginners would be fine with it 100%. And probably that's about it. And people that are really on a tight budget. Anyone above and beyond that, intermediate, elite level lifters, stim junkies, it's just not going to be an option at all. Now, having said that, I do think for the pre-workout you're getting, it is priced decently well, like it is a 10 out of 10 on the price scale. So, and you don't see that all too often. So I think out of all of the budget pre-workouts that are on offer for in that realm of price, I do think this is one of the better ones, but I still wouldn't go out of my way to recommend people buy it. There are other ones in the realm of the price, or maybe a tad more expensive, and you're getting a lot more pre-workout for the money. So yeah, it could be worse, but it could also be a lot better. So I don't really have much of an opinion on this one. It kind of just is what it is. It's one of those classic pre-workouts that's been around years. You kind of know what you're getting with it. There's nothing exciting, but then again, it's not breaking the bank either. So it's hard to give it a tough time when it's not ripping you off either. So yeah, I think if you were to pick it up and use it, you wouldn't be a moron. I wouldn't say you've been ripped off, and I wouldn't say you'd be having a terrible time, but at the same time, for my money, I'd just rather have a different pre-workout. So yeah, did it stand the test of time? I would have to say no. I would like to have seen it evolve a lot more than this. It feels like it's leaving a lot to be desired. I do understand, however, that the price point would have to go up if they did improve the pre-workout and start adding more elements and more ingredients and higher dosages. So yeah, you have to take it with a pinch of salt, I suppose. So yeah, guys, not a terrible pre, but not a great pre either. It's just kind of like in the middle, meh, kind of average experience overall. But yeah, I wouldn't say avoid it. I definitely wouldn't say go out and buy it. I would say maybe shortlist it if you are on a super tight budget. But yeah, there are just better options out there if you're willing to dig a tiny bit deeper into your pockets, which is what I would personally recommend people do. But yeah, it's not as shocking as what some of the other budget ones are on the market, so I'm at least happy to say that, but it's definitely not anything special. But anyway, guys, with the risk of going around in circles, I do think that I have covered it all. But yeah, let me know if you've used this old classic, either back in the day or the current version. You know, what do you think of it? What other classics can you remember? Obviously, we've got the USN ones, we've got the Optimum Nutrition ones, obviously a load of banned ones like Ultimate Orange and Jack 3D. There's loads of classics, and this was knocking around back when all those were on offer. So yeah, it is an old school one. It's just a bit meh. But yeah, that covers it all, guys. I think so anyway. But yeah, let me know if I've missed anything down below, anything else you want to see us review, all of the usuals, and as always, stay stimmed.